Unfortunately, its true purpose is something much more entertainers and celebrities, by virtually every metric imaginable, this planet is in very good health. The fake news cannot just let President Trump recover from the China virus in peace. They have to find some way to attack him over it. There are a lot of cures that come from adult stem cells, which are infinitely better than fetal stem cells, with the added bonus of not killing a child. With President Trump respecting the sanctity of life and nominating a pro-life justice to the Supreme Court, liberals decided that Trump must have used fetal stem cells to get better. This is untrue, because the company that made the cure stated that there were no fetal cells used at all. However, even if it was true, most of what we know about hypothermia was found in the Nazi death camps, and not one person is attacking a single doctor for using this research. There are countless things that we know about the human body and medical science that have been obtained by less than ethical means. If Amy Coney Barrett is nominated to the Supreme Court, it will undoubtedly spell the end of Obamacare and Roe v. Wade. The only way that Obamacare could in any way be maintained is if the individual mandate remains in place. This forces you to purchase a service, even if you do not want it. If SCOTUS removes this mandate, the rest of the law will fall. Churches down here in Texas are instituting strict rules to stop the spread of the China virus. Personally, I think that they are not only superfluous and over the top, but dangerous in the long run. It never was about 2 weeks to flatten the curve, but so that the American people would get used to this intrusion into their personal lives. The Brooklyn Diocese is suing Cuomo over the restrictions on worship. For St. Peter did say, "We ought to obey God rather than men." We gave up so many liberties, and Americans are starting to stand up. More people than I would have thought are refusing to wear a mask. Lawsuits like these are popping up all over the country, and I am proud to support them in any way that I can. The World Health Organization does not have the best track record in my book. I have a natural distrust of authority on a large scale. Moving on, they started parroting the lies of the CCP in regards to the China virus at the start, telling us that it could not be spread from person to person and that it was not dangerous. Granted, now the fake news is going the opposite way and treating the flu variant like a plague. Now even the World Health Organization is admitting that lockdowns were completely counterproductive in the grand scheme of things. The organization cites the large-scale economic impact that we may never fully recover from. There are many problems with the lockdown model, but I do not have time to go into them presently. I do not believe that lockdowns are ineffective because of what WHO said, because we already knew that they did not work. However, the same people that stand to benefit from keeping people scared are the same ones that will ignore this announcement. Steve Scully was scheduled to moderate this week's debate, but it was canceled. If you listen to the mainstream media, it was because they wanted it to be digital. This way, they could cut President Trump off any time he needed to correct Biden, or just cut him off entirely and blame a technical glitch. However, the real reason that it is being canceled is that Steve Scully is anti-Trump at every turn. He posted to Twitter what was supposed to be a DM, but made it public by mistake. Now he is claiming his account was hacked. The entire media is against the president, save for a select few outlets. However, the entire Democratic Party did get the message that they are not to admit that Biden plans to pack the court as soon as he gets into office. It is no secret that Democrats are obsessed with making sure Amy Coney Barrett is not confirmed for the Supreme Court. They are realizing that since these justices serve for life, Trump's influence will be around for some time. If she is confirmed, the only way that they can get their will is to pack the court. This did not work with FDR, and the Senate has to stop them. Biden and Harris both know that the court will be packed if they win, but they and the rest of the Democrats are not willing to admit it. Even the fake news is calling them out. The New York Post obtained information from a discarded laptop that shows conclusively that Joe Biden knew about his son working for a Ukrainian gas company. Naturally, the Democrats did not like that their secret might get out and ordered Twitter to keep that news from getting out. Not only do we know that Joe Biden ordered the prosecutor to be fired.
They were walking out to press conference. I said, "No," I said, "I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion." They said, "You have no authority. You're not the president." The president said, I said, "Call him." I said, "I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion." I said, "You're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here." And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, "I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money." Well, got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
And the Democrats tried to impeach the president for trying to investigate this. We now know that as Vice President, Joe Biden had an active role in all of this. Why would Twitter not want this secret out? Simple. They need Sleepy Joe to be elected. Then they will declare him incompetent, and Kamala Harris will be president. This is all on top of Twitter being fined $100,000 for campaign finance violations. Want to take a wild guess as to which candidate they were funding? Judge Amy Coney Barrett is keeping the words of Jesus, found in Luke 21:14-15, during her hearing. "Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay, nor resist."
Most of us have multiple notebooks and notes and books and things like that in front of us. Can you hold up what you've been referring to in answering our questions? Is there anything on it?
That letterhead that says United States Senate.
That's impressive.
The senators asked her every question under the sun about her rulings, and even some topics that had absolutely nothing to do with the matter at hand. Even asking her if she had ever been convicted of sexual assault. Regardless of the question asked, she was able to quote every decision perfectly. These are the sorts of questions that have no relevance, but since they cannot dispute her record, they have to do anything at all to stop her. They cannot risk a woman standing against abortion or being successful with children. Imagine a 6th grader for a moment. The Netherlands is legalizing euthanasia for terminally ill children as young as 12. We have seen, across Europe and in Canada, doctors and the state intentionally withholding care to the elderly against the family's wishes. Some hospitals are even refusing to allow the child to be taken home in the last days, and others that refuse to allow another hospital or charity to care for the patient. This is not about terminal care. This is all about giving the government the authority over who lives and who dies. Mother Teresa famously said that if you can kill an unborn child, that there is nothing left between killing any other person. Speaking of state control, France now wants to make it illegal to homeschool children. The state will also be ensuring that all private schools are up to state standards. Translation: bow to the altar of the state or be executed. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke. Maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but that is just my opinion.